Hey there, race fans. It's Race Day Top 5 with me, Frank 5. It is Memorial Day Sunday on a weekend where we honor the men and women of our military and those that fell in the line of duty, protecting and fighting for our country. We will honor and remember them on this particular weekend. And on this day, we will also honor and remember them with 600 miles of racing action. Today, it is the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, America's home for racing. One of the crown jewels of NASCAR, where we're going to be having 39 drivers trying to chase that crown jewel tonight. It'll be a very interesting race, and a race that could be perhaps impacted by weather because there is some rain in the forecast, especially at race time, but we got to wait and see what happens. Obviously, it's supposed to be a weekend of fun and enjoyment, but as many of you know, all of us in the NASCAR community are still mourning and having to comprehend the unexpected passing of Kyle Busch on Thursday. But I know one thing. Kyle would want us to race today. He would want us to keep racing and fighting hard. And that we will do. And we will honor him today the best way possible. As a race fan, a part of me is very excited. But a part of me also is, still trying to process the tragic events of Thursday. And again, my heart goes out to the families of Samantha, Brexton, and Lennox Busch, Kurt Busch, and the parents of Kyle Busch, of course, during this difficult time. But I know that they would want us to still race for his memory. And again, that we will do. It will be Austin Hill behind the wheel of what was supposed to be Kyle Busch's car and has been renumbered to the 33 car. I'll talk a little more about that later, but I want to start getting ready to get myself together before we get ready to go to the racetrack today to get this show started. So let's try to put a smile on our faces and let's try to have a good, fun race today. Firstly, though, before we get ready to go, we got to start off with some breakfast. There's a bowl, and choice of the day, Cheerios. Absolutely good for you. It's heart healthy. It's just absolutely delicious. It's my favorite cereal. And I know people like Honey Nut Cheerios because it has that honey taste to it, but these are supposed to be really good for you. And as you can tell on the box, it can help lower cholesterol. Part of heart-healthy diet. Certainly is. Now time for a spoonful. So good, Cheerios is. And over here we got my backpack that I'm going to need for the race, and over in here you will see that I got the headsets that I'm going to need to listen to the radio broadcast, and of course there is the radio. There are some batteries in there, but we already bought another pack of batteries to use for today specifically, but those are extras just in case. And down here we've got my iPad, which I'll need for other reasons, cord and plug-in so I can charge my devices if need be. It's going to be very important, especially if I'm going to be doing race content all day long. And over here we've got our necessities that we really need for today's event. So there's my dad's cooler. He asked me to bring that in here and just keep it going and everything keep everything refrigerated. We got bottled water, we've got my sodas, Pepsi, and Mountain Dew. And if you can notice it on there, you see it's been renamed to American Dew for this particular weekend. And over here we got chips, we've got hamburger buns, and here we've got ketchup, queso dip, and spicy brown mustard, if you can see it there. And this bag right over here contains the batteries, which we're going to need for our headsets and radios. And also I got my rain jacket right here because, again, you don't know. If it does rain today, you're going to need this because I don't want to get soaked to the bone. You're going to need this to protect me and keep me warm. So got a lot of that stuff for today. There's still one thing that I have to go get. So time to get in the car for a little quick trip and get my sandwich for the day. My local Walmart. This is where I got to go get my sandwich inside. Always come here. I feel like I get me here every week picking groceries up from this place. Boom, sandwich secured. Subway. Get it multiple times a year, especially for a race day, because it's delicious and it's always been consistent. I will say though, I have tried Jersey Mike's recently, which I was hesitant at first, but it's actually not that bad. The only problem is their sandwiches are expensive. These are not expensive. They're affordable, and they're also, again, really good, consistent sandwiches. Jimmy John's, nah, doesn't sit well with me, and their sandwiches really aren't the best. These are just really delicious. By the way, I did go to the Craftsman Truck Series race on Friday night, but as you all know, that it was raining just as we tried to get going, and eventually got postponed to yesterday, but unfortunately that never happened with weather, and it is being run at 10 o'clock this morning. Obviously, I had a ticket to go to it, but considering, where I am right now, not going to be able to make it to today's race, but I'll listen to it on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio and just see who can try to win today for this race. It'll be a lot of fun, but we're looking forward to watching the big guys tonight. By the way, I was able to go to the merchandise tents at the Speedway set Friday night and picked up these two gems, the Legacy Motor Club cars of John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Jones. These schemes look really, really nice, and finally add them to my diecast collection. And why is it important for me to add these to my diecast collection? Well, the previous Legacy Motor Club cars that I have are the Chevrolet brand. These are the Toyotas. Finally, I get them in their brand. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention that other than the Truck Series and the Cup Series today, it is still a big day of racing for the world of motorsports, because today the Indianapolis 500 takes place in Indiana, where we're going to see 33 drivers try to run and chase down the win in the greatest spectacle in racing. I'm looking forward to watching that race on my dad's iPad because it's equipped with Wi-Fi. I'm very much looking forward to see who's going to be able to take victory in today's race. Alex Palou, the defending winner of the race and the current championship leader, is on the pole for the race, hoping to go back-to-back, something that Joseph Newgarden did the previous couple of years, winning back-to-back in 2023 and 2024. We'll keep our eyes on Newgarden today as he starts in the middle of the pack. Of course, Will Power running this race for the first time at his new team, Andretti Global. But we're all asking the big question: can Pato O'Ward finally close the deal? Because he's been close so many times these past couple of years in Indianapolis. He's always had the speed. He's always had the capability. He just hasn't been able to seal the deal. Is today the day Pato O'Ward becomes the Indy 500 champion? We're going to have to wait and watch and see what happens. And also, we got F1 at 4 o'clock today in Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's the first year in a while that we don't have Monaco for breakfast, Indy 500 for lunch, and the Coke 600 for dinner on the same day. It was the ultimate Christmas weekend for NASCAR fans to be able to see the three biggest motorsports run on the same day with their biggest races on Memorial Day weekend. Even though F1 doesn't celebrate Memorial Day weekend, it was always a time to wake up in the morning for Monaco and then get ready for Indy 500 and then get ready for the 600. But F1's in Canada today, and I'm sorry, that was a terrible decision by the FIA. How can you put the Canadian Grand Prix literally on a time slot where everybody's mainly going to be tuning into the Indianapolis 500? That's a big L by the FIA. All locked up. And now we are ready to get to the Speedway for racing action today. Also, as you can tell, it is cloudy, but it looks a little bit brighter in there. Maybe the sun's trying to peek its way through. If it does, that would be a glorious sight.
He sits high over the pit lane as well. All right, so it looks like we're going to get a quickie yellow, which means that all of the trucks, whether on the lead lap or not, highly likely to stay out there and try to gain as many points as you can, as we're going to only have 5 laps remaining in stage number 1. But if you're looking at a bigger picture, if you're at the 1,000-foot view.
We're almost at the Speedway, but I need to get ice. A small bag, not a big one. Ice secured. And no, I'm not going to start singing Ice, Ice Baby, even though I just said it. That song sucks. All right, guys, we are finally here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Coca-Cola 600. Now, going on over there right now is the truck race. They just completed stage number 2. Lane Rakes just won the second stage, and there's been a lot of chaos in that race so far. Ty Majeski had power problems. He's in the garage repairing that. Corey Day just had a massive crash. Thankfully, he's okay. I feel so bad for the guy, considering he's the guy driving the truck that was supposed to have been Kyle's for this race. But I'm glad to see that he's doing okay. But a lot of the fans are starting to pack in, and we're here for a race, and we want to have fun, and that's what we're going to do. Also, look at the grass here and the outside parking section that we're in. It's not muddy whatsoever, and you just see it right there. There's really no mud to it. With all the weather that we've had, this section over here has done a great job absorbing the moisture, and it's relatively dry right now. I'm surprised because I thought I was going to have muddy shoes. All the rows of tailgate tents are up and running here. Everybody enjoying their experience before 600 miles tonight. It's barbecue, food, you got everything.
Ross continuing to fall back. Looks like he may have something more going on with that truck.
Just a crazy block right there. It looked like maybe damage in the right front of Ross's truck.
Well, heck, we don't even know if he spun yet or not, but I'm assuming he did with all the action we've seen today.
Refreshing. Well, the race has unfortunately ended under yellow because of the rules with the time of the day. We had to cut the race short at noon, and it is Lane Riggs for Front Row Motorsports victorious at Charlotte Motor Speedway. End of what was pretty much described as a caution-filled race at Charlotte. Thankfully, we were able to get a lot of truck action in today, unlike the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series last night with the weather, the mist, and the fog and all that. Today on a cloudy Sunday afternoon, it is Lane Riggs going to victory lane with his alma mater, Charlotte 49ers. And there's the crew doing a bow for Kyle Busch. How fitting. Lunchtime, folks.
There's the loyalty, the fans, and tickets. There are over 1,000 fans who have had tickets here for over 50 years. 350,000 gathering, and Clark Gronkowski has moved out.
Always delicious Subway. Consistent, clean, just the best. Well, hello there, Mr. Sun. He's trying to peek his way through the clouds and shine down on us. It's exactly what we all needed. It's starting to get a little bit hotter out here because the sun has picked its way through the sky, so that means water. And I advise every single race fan when you go to a racetrack, no matter the conditions, whether it's, you know, hot or mild or even a little bit cold, please do me a grand favor and hydrate, especially to those people that are having some alcohol. I know you're having a good time, but we want you to get home safely. Water can keep you hydrated in these times.
And the confidence from having courage to defy. But being
See,
brave,
H2O works every time.
Before we go green again.
So, keeping tabs on the Indianapolis 500 on my dad's iPad, we're past halfway. Scott Dixon, the 2008 winner, is out front of Alex Palou, David Malukas, Joseph Newgarden, and Scott McLaughlin. A couple guys, unfortunately, have been taken out. One of them was Catherine Legg. That was I was going to talk about. She was supposed to run both the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600, tried to complete the double 1,100 miles. However, she got knocked down on a rack on lap number 18 with the 2014 winner Ryan Hunter-Ray. But I will say, though, it sucks that she's out, but she did a great job to find a spot to wreck the car rather than what could have been, because it was going to be really, really ugly if she stayed her course and tried to avoid the Hunter-Ray wreck. It could have been really bad. Thankfully, she's okay. She's on her way to Indianapolis now. A lot of lead changes in this race. Ed Carpenter, unfortunately, got taken out in a restart. He was not happy with Takuma Sato. A lot of guys going back and forth. The Penske guys are making their march, including Joseph Newgarden here. He started 23rd. He's up to 4th spot, the two-time Indy 500 winner, looking for number 3. He's got a really good shot if this race gets resumed here, because there is some precipitation, and now they're bringing the cars in. I hope it's not too serious and they can get it back going. But we're not under yellow really for this reason. It's because Will Power dropped some oil on the track. We'll see what happens here, but we're past halfway. Got our burgers on the grill, our Bubba burgers, I should say. So let's see if the tops are juicy right now. They're getting there. So, time to flip them. By the way, you're watching my dad at his finest right here, grilling food. I'm all right at it, but I'm not a pro like he is. Woo! That looks smoky. And now we gotta wait for those sides to get juicy on the top. Burger's all cooked. It looks absolutely delicious. There's just one thing missing, as you can see over on the side here, some ketchup. Whew, may have did a little more over there, but looks really good. Our finished product here, and now the best part.
Burger.
Boy, do I love a good Bubba. These burgers are just the best. And I also have some coleslaw to go along with it. Fantastic. Got all of our dinner, delicious food. We packed everything up, and now it's time to begin our trek to the track. Grandstand spots are right in that section over there, high and wide. I think I should probably provide an update on the Indianapolis 500. My goodness, what a finish to an incredible race. The Indianapolis 500 went into a one-lap shootout where Felix Rosenqvist led him to green, lost it coming to the line by David Malukas, and as Rosenqvist and his teammate Marcus Armstrong kept racing side by side, it looked like Malukas was going to stretch away, but because of the tow, they both had a big run on Malukas heading into 3, and then when Rosenqvist finally cleared Armstrong, he was able to get one more slingshot run at Malukas, and he was able to nip Malukas at the line in the closest Indianapolis 500 finish ever. And Felix Rosenqvist is a champion of the Indianapolis 500, an incredible race. My heart goes out to Dave Malukas. He was so close to his very first Indianapolis 500 win, which would have also been his first career IndyCar win. But he'll get another opportunity to that, but congrats to Rosenqvist. Enjoy that glass of milk. Got that little marine section over there where people are trying to lift their way up the pole and everything. The Marines, as well as the other branches of the military, they're also what this weekend is all about. The Marines, their slogan is the few, the proud. And we all know a valuable lesson in life is that freedom is not given, it is earned. You got banners for all the branches of the military. You got the Navy, you got the Coast Guard, you got the Army,
America 250 celebrating 250 years of freedom. Space Force, Air Force. Amazing stuff. We thank all the military for their service. Got the O'Reilly 10 Experience here. O'Reilly Auto Parts, official sponsor of the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. I'll say they've done a great job as far as marketing their brand this season through our series. Had a really good first year so far. So I think it'd be a good time now to explain the situation that Richard Childress Racing is dealing with tonight, racing their second car. It'll be Austin Hill, as I mentioned, behind the wheel of the now number 33 car. RCR is putting the 8 car away for the foreseeable future. It is officially Brexton Busch's number, Kyle's son's number, whenever he's ready and willing to pursue a Cup Series career. Brexton, we're thinking about you right now, buddy. But I know if your dad would have loved to see you on a racetrack in NASCAR, and I hope you're able to do that soon, dude. We're all thinking about you. But it'll be the 33 car for tonight and the rest of the future, and probably will be going forward until Brexton is ready. This is our gate entry at gate 7. We've done this before for the Roval race, never for the oval race, so this is something new. And we are officially in. Guys, the sun has popped out today, and I think we all need it, but I'll tell you what, it is hot, and the humidity is not pretty. We're gonna go up the elevator because we're not gonna take the steps up. It'd be a little bit rough for my dad. Down the stairs is not a problem. Went up the elevator, nice smooth ride, and now we're looking for section 438, which should be coming up here in just a moment, and then we'll get a bird's eye view of the track. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the vantage point of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Isn't it just beautiful with the sun out? 4 steps. Not beautiful. At least I'm getting my exercise in.
100 miles in the extra stage, so it's one of those racetracks that if you do have a good car, you can capitalize huge on points.
The pre-race stage looks absolutely amazing right now. You see the members of our military all packing in there. All of our branches getting ready for these very important opening ceremonies where we will pause and honor and remember those who we've lost while serving in our military.
At the top
this will certainly make you well up. The logo,
no shock at all. The
number 8,
next in line,
with the signature of Kyle Busch. Man, it's tough to look down on that, but I know one thing, he's looking down on us right now. Getting closer to the start of everything, so Tyler Reddick is going to be on the pole for tonight's race because qualifying got rained out, and they set it by the metrics based off of your points position and averaging that with your finishing position from the most recent points race at Watkins Glen. So that's why Reddick's on the pole, and Ty Gibbs will be on the outside front row. We're going to be keeping our eye on a lot of the stories tonight, including can Ross Chastain go back-to-back in the Coca-Cola 600 like he did a year ago? Can William Byron make up for the one that got away? Because he had the dominant car in this race last year, and he has yet to win in 2026, which baffles me. He could do it tonight. Could Chase Elliott get his first ever crown jewel? Will Kyle Larson finally break through and put behind all the bad luck he's had? Or could it be someone like Ryan Blaney, who my first Coke 600 3 years ago, he was victorious, and it was on a Monday. Could it be Chase Briscoe in the 19 car? Or wouldn't it be fitting if one of the Richard Childress cars, Austin Dillon or Austin Hill, were to win this race? We got to tune in. We're going to see what happens tonight, 600 miles of remembrance.
NASCAR CEO, Steve O'Donnell.
No one ever feels fully prepared to speak in a moment like this. And I think we can all agree that this was Kyle Busch's home. Every racetrack was Kyle Busch's home. He competed like he had something to prove every single race, when in reality, he'd already proven everything. What I think we'll miss most isn't the wins. It's the guy who quietly wanted to help a teammate or give some advice. It was the husband, the father, or the guy who quietly did things for others when no one was watching. And to the Busch family, Tom, Gay, Kurt, all the folks at RCR and JGR, we are certainly thinking about you. Samantha, I want you to know that this sport stands with you, and that you and your children are NASCAR family forever. And Brexton and Lennox, your dad loves you with all his heart. Everyone gathered here, everyone behind you, everybody watching on TV, and all those people up in that grandstand are your family, and we've got you. Kyle Busch is NASCAR. He was one of a kind, and there will never be another. And I'd ask everybody now to join us in a moment of silence for Kyle.
It is only fitting, only appropriate that the pit box of what was then the 8 car is right across from that. You see the little lights that they have there as the visual. The honor goblet. That celebration or remembrance of Kyle's life right there at the beginning. That touched me, folks. That touched me. You also got to appreciate the turnout for this race today. The 5th consecutive year that this Coca-Cola 600 is sold out. All the fans here today to celebrate Memorial Day weekend and watch a race. They want to watch their favorite driver race around this 1.5-mile track, America's home for racing, and see one of their drivers capture one of the crown jewels of NASCAR. Let's put on a show.
Please welcome USO Chief Executive Officer, Lieutenant General Retired Mike Linnington. He is joined today by the 2026 USO Service Members of the Year, USO K9 Volunteer of the Year, and our Grand Marshal, the Senior Enlisted Advisor to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, SEAC, David Isom.
This Memorial Day, the USO and Coca-Cola are proud to salute America's military service members and their families, especially those who made the ultimate sacrifice. On this 67th running of the Coca-Cola 600, I am honored to be here today with the 2026 USO Service Members of the Year, the USO K9 Volunteer of the Year, and our Coca-Cola 600 Grand Marshal, the Senior Enlisted Advisor to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, SEAC, David Isom. We are proud to stand here in remembrance of those we've lost and in gratitude to the people serving our great nation as members of the United States military. Please join the Senior Enlisted Advisor to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, SEAC, David Isom, in saying the most famous 4 words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engine!
The engines are fired. 39 cars ready for 600 miles. I also just want to give a quick shout out to NASCAR on Prime. They are back to start their 2nd season of covering the NASCAR Cup Series, their first race being tonight. Good luck once again to Adam Alexander, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Steve Letarte, Marty Snyder, Kim Kuhn, Trevor Bain, Daniel Trotta, Corey LaJoie, and Carl Edwards as they get ready to begin their first of 5 race broadcasts on Prime Video. Come on the rise and win. We're going up around the bend. for you. We race in honor of your contributions to NASCAR and what you've done. Thank you. And now, race fans, the time has come. It's time to go racing. 600 balls of remembrance. Pace cars off. Tyler Reddick, Ty gets on the front row. And we are green in the Coca-Cola 600! cars destroyed. Why? He comes to number 88 of Clarksville. Oh my goodness, look at that. There's Clarksville, the rookie who had an impressive run in the All-Star race. It's over, unfortunately, it's statement once again. Under caution for the second time tonight. Massive damage. There's the replay. There's the two car who's just running the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, it looks like he might have had help. I think that was Christopher Bell behind him. Oh my God, how did Byron get through? Oh, and the 88 car was coming down from the banking onto the apron. Unfortunately, lost control and gets slipped in the right rear quarter panel. That's just... Seven car Daniel Moore is right there. He pitted it under green for, I'm guessing, something 40 with a tire. He was the fourth car a lot down, so guess what? He gets the free pass and he gets to rejoin the lead lap car.
impossible to fully express our gratitude for the men and women who work around the clock and around the globe, providing us the freedom we all share tonight. Their selfless commitment allows us to live freely. On this Memorial Day weekend, we honor and remember our fallen heroes, those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. We lift up their names, and we lift up those Gold Star families who have lost a loved one serving this great nation. Let's join together for a moment of silence. Thank you.
The car, he says the car's fine. All he wants is track position. You do that by having a fast pit stop on
People trying to get on the selfie cam, they want to see their face shine right on the big screen of the back stretch of Charlotte here. All you gotta do is scan that QR code. Going for it again. officially entered the final stage of the Coca-Cola 600, and it does look like we are going to get all 600 miles in. That is impressive. Mother Nature, I think, was very kind to us today, and I think Kyle had something to do with that. So far, it has been Toyota domination, particularly from the Joe Gibbs Racing side, plus Tyler Reddick's 2311 racing car. I don't think the Chevrolets and the Fords have got anything for the Toyotas. The big question is, which Toyota could grab the checkered flag in first place? They got to play nice, because I know Joe Gibbs is going to tell them, you can race hard, but just don't take all cars out a big pile off, because that would be an owner's nightmare. By the way, massive cleanup going on pit road. Apparently, Timmy Hill's car caught fire. He climbed out of the car, thankfully it's okay, but you can see track officials and pit crew members are on pit road trying to get a lot of that liquid and fluid out of the pit box, because these guys are going to have to make a pit stop here relatively soon. They don't want these guys coming down over slippery pit road and having problems. Nobody wants an issue.
Agreed, 64 laps to go. SVT, Chris Bell, the front row. Back at it.
here at Charlotte for the 10th time. It's not for an incident on track and not precipitation, but there is a lightning strike in the area, so we're going in a holding pattern for a couple minutes. So, yeah, stand by, ladies and gentlemen. And just as we were about ready to get them back going, a few more drops of precipitation on the track, and they're bringing them down pit road, and they're going to put them in a little bit of a hole until this little light sprinkle moves out of the area, and we can hopefully finish this thing up. So close. We're 34 laps in the finish. Please, 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 let us finish this race. Green! Green flag! Unbelievable. It just started raining hard, it stopped, and NASCAR's called it. Daniel Suarez on 2 tires has just won the Coca-Cola 600 as he points to the sky, honoring Kyle Busch. Unbelievable. His first year at Spire, and now he's just won the biggest crowd draw, and he is just overcome with emotion. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this.
Thursday, how badly did you want this one for Kyle?
It really means a lot. I've been saying for years that this is my favorite race of the year. You know, I get to have my family here every year. This is the only race that I get to call. It's been a very tough week. You know, Kyle, it was a special thing. Doing it for Kyle. For Kyle, for Samantha, for Braxton, for Lennox, for all his family.
That's Bubba Wallace.
2 that were on our pre-race stage before the race, both showing emotion.
It's very special. You know, every win is special. Thank you.
Jimmy Johnson in with a hug.
But definitely this one has a special flavor because this one is for him. If it wasn't for Kyle, I wasn't going to be an Xfinity champion. I wasn't going to have my shot in the Cup Series, and be able to win this race for him is unbelievable.
You mentioned your championship. In some ways, is this win more meaningful than that?
Every win is special, you know. Every win is special. The championship was very, very special. But it's been a second, right? But, you know, for Wind Inspired Motorsports, Freeway Insurance on the car, Cesar Ariano, the CEO of Freeway Insurance, is here. Just unbelievable. The team did an amazing job. It wasn't easy. We had a lot of issues throughout the race, but they put us in contention and we executed well.
I can ask you how you did it because they had 2 shots at you with 4 fresh tires on your 2.
The car was fast. The car was fast. We were having some issues, but we knew all weekend that the car had plenty of speed.
You got a bow for us coming up in a little bit, Daniel?
Yeah, I think so. Listen, I want to thank everyone, Freeway Insurance, all partners, Chevrolet, HMS Power, so many people that makes this program as successful as it is.
You know, you won it for Kyle Busch, and Daniel Suarez pulls it off. What a call by Ryan Buck, but what a drive for Daniel Suarez at the end of that race. He wins the Coca-Cola 600.
I get the feeling you had something to do with that. You wanted one of your drivers that came up through the ranks, courtesy of you, to win that race. I hope we did the best we possibly could for you tonight, Rowdy. We truly miss you.
Well, what a long day at Charlotte Motor Speedway on a weekend of remembrance of the men and women of the military. And of course, that special moment, a tough moment, pre-race. Man, that was hard to watch in person. That was really tough. But a long day at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Coca-Cola 600. Unfortunately, not all 600 miles were completed. We were just 27 laps shy of the finish, but the rain that we were hoping we were going to be able to beat all day long came in the closing laps of the race, and pretty much it was a light sprinkle for a little bit. Then it dried up. Then it downpoured again. And with the limited amount of time that we had left, there wasn't going to be enough time to dry the track back up. And it is Daniel Suarez in his first year with Spire Motorsports, victorious in the Coca-Cola 600. I give massive props to Ryan Sparks, the crew chief of the number 7 car, taking a 2-tire gamble to put themselves in position to beat the Toyotas and win the 600. I mean, and I will say this, the brief research that we had, he did a great job defending those Toyotas of Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, and Tyler Reddick. He did everything in his power to defend those Toyotas, who were the best of the entire field all day long, and he was able to pretty much steal victory right from them. And it is absolutely incredible, especially after all the tough luck he had at the start of this race, because he had to pit like twice under green unexpectedly for some issues, I think for loose wheel and a flat tire, and he fell a lap down both times, but he got both of those laps back in the process. And he is now a champion of the Coca-Cola 600. Once again, the Toyotas were so strong today. Tyler Reddick on pole led the most laps. Ty Gibbs was really good. Denny Hamlin was strong once again. Christopher Bell, he had to overcome a lot of pit road miscues and penalties to work his way back up in the mix. Chase Briscoe was strong as well, and unfortunately he got involved in that incident on the back straightaway at the beginning of the final stage that took him out of contention for at least the win. And at the end of the day, it was a bow tie in Spire Motorsports and Daniel Suarez winning. The second win of this year for Spire Motorsports. First for Daniel Suarez in his first year with the team, which has been a very, very good season so far. And now he's in the top 10 in points for Spire. He's just doing an incredible job and a very emotional win, as he was one of the drivers that was brought up to where he is today. He wouldn't have gotten here without Kyle Busch, because Kyle Busch gave this man a chance in the Truck Series, and of course told Joe Gibbs, saying he'll run races in my truck team as long as he's able to run in the O'Reilly Series for Joe Gibbs Racing and show what he's made of. And even though he's had an up and down bumpy road, despite winning the O'Reilly Series championship back in 2016 and only winning a couple races in Cup, the win at Sonoma and that 3-wide photo finish, which involved Kyle Busch in the mix for the win, this is a pretty incredible one. And you gotta say, Kyle, I think, had something to do with that. He wanted to see one of his proteges win. So it's only fitting that a former KBM driver wins the Coca-Cola 600. That is fairly incredible. And again, the pre-race festivities to honor the men and women of the military was incredible. And of course, that moment where Steve O'Donnell and all the people gathered near that 8 logo on the front stretch, Samantha, Brexton, and Lennox there, and I cannot imagine what was going through them that entire time, having to cope with the fact that Kyle's not here anymore. And Kurt was there too. He laid out 8 flowers on that 8 logo, and they remained there for the remainder of the race. The NASCAR family is with Samantha, Brexton, and Lennox all the way through. We have their backs. But once again, a lot of people turned out for today's race. I will say it was really good racing today. A lot of comers and goers, a lot of back and forth action. A couple of key contenders, unfortunately, were stricken in the race and didn't have a chance at the 600. But that's what 600 miles does. It's a marathon, and you got to be in the game. Some of them, it didn't go their way today. But I'm grateful that we were able to get a lot of the racing today. I wish we would have gotten in all 600 miles, but what can you do? Let's hope next year for 600 miles and being able to do it once again in the outcome. So I thank you all so much for tuning in to this vlog experience. Under difficult circumstances, I will admit it was a little bit tough for me this weekend as a fan to go, given what happened Thursday. But I went, and I made the most of it. And hopefully the next time I'm back at the track, it'll be brighter days inside. So I thank you so much once again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Memorial Day weekend. And let's carry on further. Let's race strong, and let's enjoy races going forward. It's what Kyle would want. So thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and congratulations, Daniel Suarez, champion of the Coca-Cola 600. Have a great night and have a great weekend, everybody. Let's go racing.